Yeah, she was.
And with the house inside, we had to stay over last week.
Yeah, they like our law. They want to know where we got this nice guy from downtown. Really nice.
Yeah. And you got that garage, bigger than this room. All day.
It does have nice. Is it textured or what?
Yeah.
We call it Great Wall of China, and then we put the bricks down on Broadway, so we call that here, Yellow Forest, Yellow River.
I know, 70.
It's starting to come.
Okay, folks, we'll call the meeting to order. According to my clock here, it is 7 p.m. on Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025. This is the regular monthly meeting of the Meyersdale Borough Council. So with that, we'll rise for the flag ceremony, and Olivia is going to offer the opening prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Father, we thank you for all you have done for each and every one of us here this evening. We ask that you continue to bless each one of us that is here for this evening. Now help us to conduct the business of our town in a way that is pleasing to you and to do everything according to your will and your purpose. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Olivia. Patty, the roll call, please.
Mr. Ackerman. Here. Mr. Bear.
Here.
Mr. Baker.
Here.
Mrs. Nagy. Here. Mr. Irwin.
Here.
Mrs. Tamarian is absent. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Valentine.
Here.
Mayor Smith.
Here.
Olivia Baker. Here. No police presence and Brian Ryder.
Here. Thank you, Patty. If council would agree, I'd like to alter the agenda slightly and allow our representative from the high school to give her report. She is a part of the musical. I'll let you tell them. And you want to get out there as quickly as you can.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, Olivia.
Okay, so yesterday was picture day, and tomorrow there's an SCTC 9th grade tour. September 16th is the Cambria County College Fair, and September 18th is the FFA Meyersdale Fish Hatchery Trip. September 19th is the Fall Sports Pep Rally, which is 2:10 to 2:42 p.m. And September 26th is the high school volleyball for floor tournament. September 27th is the marching band Goodwill Drive, and then fall sports are in season and in full spring right now with volleyball, cross country, football, musical, cheer, and band. They're all going through their seasons right now with practices and games. And we have several students participating in co-op sports with soccer and golf.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay, Olivia, well, you can stay as long as you want, but you're welcome to leave and go out to the high school, and we'll see you next month. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, then we'll go on with the agenda here. We have one set of minutes to approve. We only had one monthly meeting in August. It was August the 7th. And I had read through them, and Patty, I thought they looked pretty good, but are there any additions or corrections or concerns about the minutes? Our one only meeting in August. Hearing nothing, could we have a motion to accept the minutes as printed?
Make a motion.
Okay, Ron and Terry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Your minutes are approved, Patty. And now the finances, Terry. We have a number of things here on the financial portion.
Okay, in the general fund, we have a balance of $150,415.40, and we have to make a vote on to pay the bills of $1,343.34. I'll make that motion.
Okay, Terry, and a second.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Ron. All those in favor of paying the bills, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Okay, then Patty gave us a copy of the proposed budget for 2026. We need to take a vote if we want to advertise that for 10 days.
I would just point out, we had gone over the budget. If you're interested, it's on our YouTube channel Thursday night. We were at 7 o'clock. We went all through this. If there's any questions, you can watch it there. In addition, you're welcome to come into Patty's office, assuming we approve it here in a couple minutes, and view the budget for 2026. So, Terry, do you want to make the motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion. We advertise the bid or the budget.
And a second. Clarence, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's unanimous.
Okay, then the last thing would be the ambulance agreement for 2026.
And that was discussed. And we had a copy of it. And what's our fee going to be for 2026? Do you want to explain that a little bit, Patty? It's going to be,
Last year, we paid 32,000 something. And the ambulance, since they didn't have it all put together, they're giving us 2/3 of that as a credit for this year. So this year's balance is $10,828.66.
so in addition to the agreement, I would ask for a motion with the agreement that we go ahead and cut a check to the Ambulance Association for that amount, 10,000 plus. Questions or discussion on this item?
Are you gonna do that now or after the first of the year because it's budgeted for next year?
I would say we approve the agreement tonight and we approve the payment for 2026. That would be done next year. Can we do that?
I would wait until the beginning of the year. Because
Okay.
We have to have the agreements signed. They were supposed to
the
be back
agreement
by
signed, that-
September 1st.
So then we'll have the motion simply to approve the agreement.
Correct.
And then you can put the $10,000 plus on our financial statement for January 2026. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
For the agreement. And a second. Thank you, Tom. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Anything else?
Nope, that's it, Joe.
Okay, we have no registered guests. Public comment. Yes, sir. Come up to the podium here, give us your name, and you have 5 minutes to say anything you want or ask questions. So, go.
My name's Greg Lowry. This is going to be pertaining to a piece of property that the borough owns out on Keystone Street, right next to the flood control. I was in here in 2002. I have a paper here that I asked for permission to use that piece of property with a verbal agreement that I maintain that property. Last summer, one of the neighbors came down and we had a little discussion about why I'm taking care of it. I told him that it was in the agreement verbally between me and the borough about maintaining the property. I thought that was the end of it. Then he started moving trailers in on that property, making it really hard to mow. In the winter, I mow it all summer. I maintain it. I do what needs to be done. I tore buildings down on it and cleaned everything up at my expense. I plow snow out there, keep the street back. When the borough comes in and plows, I usually push all that back so that they have room to move the snow that's coming into that part. I was just wondering if there was anything we could do with these trailers. because this winter, I think it's going to be an issue. There's also a pile of dirt out there that this neighbor had put in there when they cleaned the last flood control out. He just had them dump a pile of dirt there, and it's an eyesore. It's got junk in it. I used to weed eat it, but him parking them trailers and stuff around there. He moved one in, I thought, well, you know, what's one trailer? Now there's 6 of them sitting out there around this dirt pile. I'd like to clean it up, make it look more presentable, but yes.
Are you talking like dump trailers, or are you talking like pulled behind
He
an
has
18-wheeler?
Fifth wheel gooseneck. I think there's a small dump there. There's, I think, 2 other car trailers there. There's a utility trailer there. Now, I have 3 trailers parked on a dirt or on a gravel lot out there also that lines up, and I try to keep that maintained around that also.
Is this on the borough property?
Yes, this is borough property.
It's actually on the flood controls, like you're saying.
Yes, it's right away from the flood control and the road. I've already inquired about purchasing this from the borough. There's not enough ground there to make a deed because of the right of ways and stuff like that. I was just wondering, I mean, it's hard to mow around that stuff. There's grass growing up underneath the trailers out there now. I don't know what to do. I want to try to keep it looking decent. But I mean, I have pictures of the dirt pile and stuff like that. There's actually a tree growing in the middle of the dirt pile.
The borough does have a responsibility to maintain the flood control.
Well, you know, there's supposed to be an easement on that flood control, and I don't know if it's 10 feet.
I think it's 10 feet.
And people have put permanent garages in that easement.
Yes.
They've put sheds all along here, and we've been cited by that. Maybe not cited, but we've been asked to get people to clean it up, and we just haven't done it. But there's a lot of people that have violated that 10-foot easement. There's supposed to be nothing movable between those walls and 10 feet out. But people think it's their property, and they just go ahead and put stuff on it. I honestly don't know how, what would you suggest? Somebody,
At that time?
No, I think we were down.
I think that was a different part.
Where exactly?
You turn down, the first road you turn down to go to the flood control, going up
Okay.
Keystone Street.
Okay, I got you.
I own the old Frank Shanholm's building.
Right.
it's down there.
And that's all I own, and that's why I come in and ask permission to use the borough property to park on that side, because there's no parking around my building. I asked the borough for permission to park over there, and they said, yeah, no problem. And like I say, I've tore building down over there, hauled the tires and building away and leveled everything up. You know, that's,
You've been there for about 8 or 9 years.
oh, I've been there, I've owned it since 2000.
I was gonna say, I know it's been a long time you've been on that.
Yeah, this is the first instance I ever had with neighbors being like this.
Does anyone on council have a suggestion as how we can move forward on this? Talk to the owner? Who is the owner? Whose trailers
Ronnie
are they?
Brennan said they're his trailers, but I think they're his boys' trailers. Now, some of them don't, I don't even know if some of them have license on them. I mean, that'd be something,
Shane, could you have the police check and see if it's on borough property, see if what's there, and then let us know.
yeah, there's 6 trailers there around that dirt pile. You can't miss the dirt pile.
I'll come down and take a look too.
I think maybe the first thing we should do is survey the whole flood control to see what other issues exist, because that is coming. And let everybody know who does that they can't be doing that.
I mean, I've asked permission. My trailers were there parked, they're not in the easement of the, you know, they're not in that easement of the 10 feet.
Well, like I say, there's supposed to be nothing in that 10-foot area, and we had this situation before, and DEP gave us, or maybe it was the Army Corps, gave us a gentle warning, and we just didn't. It's going to create a lot of hard
It's on the
feelings.
lower, it's not even a warning, it's on a lower level of violation so far, because they didn't
But they've just, nobody's pushed it, but there should be nothing in there that can't be removed, I mean, in an emergency.
We do have a flood control inspection with the Corps the 23rd of this month, so they probably will make note of it.
You'll be available for that? Okay, 23rd, Ron's gonna take a look at it. Terry will mention it during our flood control inspection, and maybe if you could come back at the October meeting. Could we put you on the agenda as a guest, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Patty, let's put Greg on. And these things take time.
Yeah, that's fine.
To resolve, but you're
No
here.
season's about over, so.
Right, so between the inspection and Ron going down, and I'm gonna check it out myself too, so. Okay, buddy?
You need a copy of this or anything for the permission?
Patty probably has.
What year was that?
2002. You can have this copy here. I think I got like 3 copies.
Okay, thanks, Craig.
Thank you for coming up.
Come back next month and we'll just see how this moves
Okay.
forward. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Public comment continues. Yes, sir.
Robert Hufford, hate to belabor a point, but the drain outside the house, I was curious as to whether we have a date for that being done, or we could put a date down.
Well, I see you put a one call in for it.
Was that?
I see you put a one call in for it.
I did today.
I already put one in. That's covered. It was
Oh,
taken care
I
of.
called them because I didn't see the pavement marked, and they said there was not in. So we plan on breaking ground
It was
Thursday.
marked. It was marked and I put a one call in for it.
I didn't see the gas line markings or
Well,
anything.
they probably didn't come out to do it yet because my dig date is the 11th. They have until the 11th tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was.
Well, I
taken
appreciate
care
it.
of.
So you're still planning on being there Thursday.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't see any markings other than your mark, and I was like concerned that it wasn't gonna get started. I've already started to do some other things, so I was gonna do along with it. So appreciate it. I'll see you on Thursday. That answers that.
All righty. Thank you, Bob. Public comment continues. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Windows look great, by the way.
Are you tired yourself?
No,
Oh, I
I
was gonna
need to
say.
look at my notes. I'm not typing. Okay, so in preparation for the 2026 budget, I was doing some review of the 2023 budget just to make myself familiar with it. And I saw a line item there that was troublesome to me. It was a $62,978 that included dental, vision, health, and life insurance for borough employees. My assumptions are that all persons who are getting a borough paycheck are being offered a group insurance plan, and that you may elect to add family members for a cost share. And I'm assuming that includes the mayor, the police, the administrators, the MMA staff, municipal employees, et cetera. So my questions are, and there's a bunch of them, so I'm gonna just say the questions. We can answer them or take those offline at some point if we need to. But how many employees does this cover? How many elect coverage for themselves or families? What percentage do the employees share in the premium cost? Is this insurance offered to family members and for how much? Are any employees / family members eligible for Medicare versus having this insurance? Are any employees or family members over 18 who are not in college who could be moved to other plans? And does the insurance plan get reviewed / renewed annually? That's just such a humongous number that I'm assuming it's for 50 people, but I don't think we have 50 people. And even 50 people would be like, what, $10,000, $12,000 a person per year. So, and I know insurance is going up according to Penny. Unless Congress acts, we could all be paying up to 82% more. So 82% on 63,000 is cost prohibitive. So those are my questions. We can take them one at a time. We can do a review of insurance. We can, whatever y'all want to do.
So the easy ones, I'll take the easy.
Okay.
The people have the hard ones. The easy ones are the following. We have, the municipal authority is not a part of that, of the borough.
So not MMA.
Yeah, so there's no MMA employees that are a part of that. There are 2 different insurance plans in the borough. There's the one for the uniform, which are the police, and then there's the non-uniform, which are non-police employees. We don't currently have, even if Patty may have it budgeted, but we don't have any police right now that get the non-uniform would be, and I'm not sure, I know we can't release the particular employees, but I don't know how many employees there are on that. And I don't know about family members either. That is through the union and is negotiated through the CBA. I know the personnel committee has, I think personnel has talked about questioning and asking questions on that when the CBA comes up, the collective bargaining agreement. So the non-uniform employees, they are all in, and I can't for the life of me remember the union, so. Yes, the retail, what is the acronym?
It's RSWB.
Okay. But they belong to that union, and I know the union is who, for lack of a better word, maintains that insurance, the same as they maintain their pension plan. I believe they maintain the pension plan, don't they, Patty? No?
Union.
Okay. But that being said, those are the ones that I can answer easily. I know that we're supposed to revisit that in the CBA. That's to happen.
So we're talking approximately a handful of people.
Yeah, I would say I think there's three borough employees. I'm not sure that all of those are insurance or not. And I don't know how many family members or those things are in it, but yeah.
So $63,000 for 3 people.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Again, that's budget. That doesn't necessarily mean that that was all paid out. You know, this is just a budget we estimate. Patty could probably come up with the figures. A more accurate figure would be for 2024, as far as when we could probably get that information for you, exactly what was paid out last year for the dental, the prescription, the healthcare, everything. But to belabor here, you know, we're not really, we're over your time, Deb. But I mean, if you want as a starting point, Patty, do you think we could come up with exactly what was paid out last year? Not the budget, but exactly what was paid, and I think you'll find it significantly less than that.
Okay.
Okay?
So that's not the premiums.
Time's up. Thank you very much. Public comment continues.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
My name is James Alpier. I own property down on 9 High Street, and I'm in the midst of acquiring a piece of property beside my house on 9 High Street. Was going to go up for public auction, but that was stayed because the borough has a $10,000 lien on the property. The lien is against where the water pipes in the house are frozen 7, 8 years ago. The house flooded, basement filled up. I think you guys the borough brought down a pump. I brought a pump over and pumped because the house has been empty. Go ahead.
I don't want to ruin your parade, but I think that would be the municipal authority. At least it should be. If it's water, it'll be the municipal authority and not the borough.
But does that not have to be brought in front of borough council?
No,
to
sir.
vote on whether they will remove part of the lien?
No, unless Patty tells me otherwise, that lien would have been entered by the municipal authority if it was water.
Well, the water municipal authority, when I went and talked to them, paid my bill here 2 weeks ago, told me I needed to bring it to this next meeting.
And they probably meant the authority meeting, which is this coming Tuesday, at 6. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So you feel free to keep going though. I just didn't want you I just want you to know.
well, if that's the meeting I need to bring that to, it was basically, my question is part of it could be removed because, it did not go down through the sewage, it got pumped out in the yard, so that amount of water was not treated. So my question was, X, can this amount be removed and then I pay the rest of it off and acquire the property? Because the property owner, 2 owners actually, are not going to do anything they don't want it. they were going to let it go. And I talked them out of it, so they didn't sign the green card to let it go through.
Yeah,
See, to capitalize on what our solicitor said, we have absolutely no authority over the municipal authority. In fact, if we went in and asked them to do this for you, we would be in violation of the law, okay? The only thing we do is the borough has established a municipal authority years ago. And then the only control we have over it is each year we appoint one member for a 5-year term. And then back around 2012 or 13, we felt that it would be appropriate to give Summit Township also an authority, the authority to appoint one individual. So there's 5 individuals, but like he said, next Tuesday night, he said it's at 6 o'clock.
yes.
But we have absolutely no authority to say to them to forgive a water bill or sewer bill or anything like that.
That's
just
fine. That answered what I need to do
Yeah.
from this point forward.
Yeah, and we appreciate you attending. You still have 2 minutes yet. Keep going if you want.
And there'll
You
be-
don't want me to keep going.
There'll be at least one other.
Do that.
There'll be at least one other,
You're a nice guy. We don't care.
Yeah, you ain't seen nice yet.
there'll be at least one other property in a similar situation.
I'll tell you what, while I have you here, you know, whenever the flood happened back in May, one of my boats, of course, made the news, and of course, Mr. Smith's boats were the other ones that went downstream. When Mr. Tressler died, which is across from me, is that considered borough property, or is that considered outside of the borough?
Is it across?
How am I going to
across
recover?
Castleman?
My question is, can I cross that property to recover it, or am I going to have to cross the Castleman to recover that boat? Because I know I got to get it out of there sooner or later,
Where is the property? Is it on the fairground side of the Castleman or the Meyersdale side?
It's on the fairground. Well,
If it's on the fairground
just
side,
as you make the bend,
Okay, then it's most likely inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know where the line ended and started right there. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Because
there's a line.
Because I remember Grant was suing a trap out of
The
the
line
line.
flows, we'll call it the castle. Yeah,
The Castleman is the line.
yeah. Well, we'll say yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, vague as always.
I'm trying.
Public comment. Continues. Anyone else have anything to say? Yes, sir.
Can I just ask, what was budgeted for the police department for next year?
$55,000.
And then is that for 2 police officers, or can't you tell me that?
We can tell you, I'll let Shane respond, but the council's responsible for the budget. Shane and I had a discussion because we're not using the $90,000 that had been budgeted. Patty had come up with reducing it to $38,000. Shane and I had a conversation and he said, Jeff, I feel more comfortable between 50 and 60. So at the budget committee, we decided, Karen brought up the suggestion that we make the budget $55,000. So that's what the budget is, assuming it's approved next October. But I would remind you again, a budget means hardly anything. If we get 10 officers that want to come in here, we can go over budget, is what I'm saying.
If you have
But
the
the
funds in the
best
general budget.
estimate, what is it?
If you have the funds in the general budget, you can go up.
And like I said at the meeting, a budget means nothing if you don't have the money to spend it.
Budget means everything.
So how many police officers do we have at the moment? Are we planning on getting more?
We have an open advertisement. It's been open for the last 2 years.
Or one more?
We're looking for as many as we can get.
Okay.
Plus, we are still seeking a full-time chief as well.
Okay. I'll talk to you offline then. That's all I want. I mean, is that enough? Is that enough money to cover?
The council and the mayor are comfortable with that figure. We did reduce it because we were nowhere near the $90,000 this year. I can't give you the exact figure to date, but I think everybody around this table is comfortable with that, and it could be changed. We could, if you understand what I'm
So
saying?
they're trying to get more,
Yes.
and I'll talk to you about why they're not coming. maybe you already know.
I just want to make a statement. So, I mean, Shane does an amazing job. He has wonderful relationships.
Hold on, Karen, hold on. He's public comment and he's finished, then you can, we don't want to encroach on your
No,
time.
I think we need more officers because once them streetlights come on, the weirdos come out in this town. And it shows by just people walking around and someone's car being stolen from Sheets and one road in particular in this town. I just think we need a few more. And because I never see the cops come by my house, but I keep to myself and I stay quiet up there on my little hill. Don't want to be bothered. But I've had things stolen from my property up on that little hill. So, and I don't want that. But we need police officers to come to this town and work for the crime. There is a lot of crime and there's a lot of drugs in this town. And if we have one police officer at the school and one working certain days at certain times, we're not catching anybody. But when them streetlights come on, the weirdos come out.
Okay, anything else? You still have some time left. Okay, thank you. Karen, do you want to say something before we continue public comment?
Yeah, Shane, like I say, does an amazing job. I think everybody likes working for him. He has a lot of connections in the county because he's out and about. I just think we need to have open eyes and set some goals for 5 years from now. When the new road goes through, and I really do think it's gonna be finished in the next 5 or 6 years. I mean, I think they have the route down and all of that now, and they're just lacking funding. There's gonna be a lot more traffic in this town. There's gonna be a lot more transient traffic. I think the hardest hit area will probably be out in Summit Township where they do have a full-time officer, which is great. I really do think we need to get serious about, budgeting and considering benefits, maybe even for our part-time officers. Whatever we can do, we gotta make sure our pay is gonna be competitive for people to come here. Because it all comes down to dollars and cents, but I think we definitely are gonna need more of a police presence and I'm just concerned for our citizens.
Hold on. Whoa.
Well, to just reach on what Karen was talking about, I mean, it's just not Meyersdale at this particular time. There's a shortage nationwide with police officers. The way that the world is turned with the disrespect towards people of authority, you don't even see it in policing, you see it in teaching. Anywhere where there's authority now, you're having problems getting quality people. We could hire 4 more officers. We're looking for quality officers, and at this time, I feel that as a borough, we have done everything that we can. We have upped the salaries to try to get the competitive wage. We have advertised, we have been on the internet advertising, So I'm open to suggestions on how we get officers in here, but I mean, like I say, it's just not a Meyersdale problem. It's everywhere across the country.
Bob, you have a public comment. You have a minute. Yet if you want to, we're not going to go back and forth. You want to come up here? Go ahead. If you have a minute to go yet, I'll start the clock.
See the warning memo from the Summit Police that was put out? I mean, that is just around the corner. You know what I mean? So there's things happening here and we don't have it. We can't expect one guy. If something happens in this town, we got to wait 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour for the state police to get here to take care of anything. I'm not a police officer. I can't go tackle somebody and arrest them when I see something wrong. It takes police officers and we need to work on getting more. And one other thing, do we have a plan in this borough? We're all not getting any younger, but I know that this young lady here has been working here for a very long time. She's not going to be here forever. Do we have a contingency plan to hire somebody to start following this woman so when she retires, that they know what's going on? Are we going to be in trouble?
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna answer your question. Patty and I have discussed that many times, and I would be happy to say that there will be, unless one of us drops dead or something, but under normal circumstances, yes, we have that all taken care of. That, and that's a good point. I appreciate you bringing it up, but thought has been given to that, and we do have a plan. Public comment continues. Last chance saloon. Julie, don't you want to say anything? Well, welcome to everybody and those watching on the internet. The president's report, public comment is over. President report, I have none. Mr. Mayor.
The only thing I would like to bring up, with the past couple of months with the temperature in the room, at some of these meetings, in an effort to bring the temperature down, I am asking that we go back to the protocol that we need to follow as far as these meetings. Public comment is awesome. I love public comment. I love hearing suggestions. I love hearing ideas. You know, that's what public comment is all about. Bring that stuff to the council so that the council can discuss it, talk about it, vote on it, whatever needs to be done. But after public comment is over, it is a council meeting. It is a meeting for the council. There can't be any outbursts, comments, peanut gallery stuff going on. It is a meeting for the council. If you sit here and you observe the council and something concerns you, bothers you, I urge you to please gather that information, bring that back with you the following month. Take your time at the podium and address it to the council and bring it to them, you know, so that it can be discussed. But I'm just asking, like I say, with the temperature that has been in this room the last several months, I'm asking that once public comment is over, we just simply observe council having their meeting for town business.
Mr. Mayor, I agree 100%. Thank you for those remarks. Anything else, sir?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
All righty. Our junior council member is here and gone. Emergency management, Kevin is not here. The solicitor's report, Mark has a report.
Excuse me a minute. I don't know if
Yes.
you bring this up or not, but I got an email from the county about that hazard mitigation resolution that needs to be passed. Can they do that tonight or that has to wait?
No, we can do that. We can make it a,
Usually Kevin brings that forward, but it's just,
should amend the agenda so we have it on and then we'll vote on it. Might as well do that right now while it's up.
Sure.
Which I think actually.
Had we
runs in
received
line.
a copy of this? Or
well, I can show it to you, but it's a standard thing. You just fill in the borough's name.
I do think we received a copy at least. I did a while ago.
So you recommend we just ask for a motion to approve it?
Yes.
Do we need a motion to amend the agenda first?
yeah.
I make a motion that we amend the agenda to address the hazard mitigation document.
Thank you, Karen. Terry seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It passes unanimously. Okay, pass it along. So now, could we have a motion that we go ahead and approve this as per the county's request? And Clarence nods first, Tom second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Once again, unanimous. Thank you, Patty, for calling that to our attention.
Ready for me? Well, you didn't say it back to me. I didn't know what you were up to. So maybe you wandered off aimlessly in the dark. So the first thing I'll say is, Patty, did you happen to hear from Keystone about the EIT?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm logging on live now. He told me that the per capita tax would stay as is. The only tax that they'd have to do the ordinance over would be the occupation tax, the occupation assessment. No place else do they do like we do here, and assess someone, like, if you're not working, say you're retired, and you're assessed at $5. They don't do that anyplace else, and they can't do it, they can't track it that way. So he's suggesting to change the ordinance and make it for working people only and make the tax say $12.50. And they're figuring that you would get like $7,000 more a year.
And what was the amount?
$12.50, I believe it is,
Okay.
yeah.
That-
Flat fee is $12.50.
Well, that makes sense, because what I looked at today, there wasn't a model ordinance out there, but the few boroughs that I looked at that had ordinances like this, I couldn't find one that's even remotely close to what we have. And most of those are newer. Some of those are quite old, but they're still newer. So I'll prepare that and bring it to council so we can review it.
And he said that he'd be willing to, help you draft it or whatever.
So you can send me the contact info. Excellent.
Before we move on, do any council members have an objection with moving forward with, what was it, $12?
Like
For the workers.
$12.50 for workers only.
Is there any objection with moving forward on an ordinance of this type? I don't think we need a motion, but
So you're saying retirees then won't pay anything?
According to this gentleman, no.
so I guess without objection, Mark will follow through on that trajectory.
The next thing is the ATV ordinance, and I reviewed the ATV ordinance. My understanding is the county will put in the paperwork for the state roads. Our ATV ordinance, I don't believe we do have to amend it. I said we had to amend it, but it actually says all roads in the borough, and it cites the actual portion of the law that's supposed to be changed. So I don't think we're gonna have to do that. We don't have to put signage on the state roadway, and we don't have to get permission from DCNR for that signage. So I don't know that we're gonna have to do that. I do know that once the county submits it, my understanding is, unless this has changed, PennDOT then will do a survey of the roadway, and then once that's approved, my understanding is it'll go forward.
So right now, those roads are not legal to run on.
No.
In this town.
No.
That's what I thought.
So Main Street, Business 219, Cherry Street to Glade City, and Broadway to the bridge towards the fairgrounds where it meets Summit are the 4 that we've applied to get permission from the state to make legal, but they are not currently legal.
Not till they approve.
And all the information I gave in July was properly vetted through the county, the liaison that is working with PennDOT. So I know there were some statements made last month. They were incorrect. And I talked to the county to make sure that what I had said, and they watched the video, what I said was correct. So.
Any questions on that? The next one is 326 Salisbury Street. Most of you have probably seen that property has been taken down. I'm not sure if the cleanup and the backfilling is finished, but they've done a very good job. The borough has legal control of that property, and we've worked with the county. I know that there's at least one person who has said they would like to purchase that. That would have to be put up to bid. What's going to have to happen, though, is in speaking briefly with the solicitor for the tax claim bureau, I believe what's going to have to happen is whoever buys this is going to have to pay the taxes that are owing, along with trying to recoup the funds that the county has expended. And I don't know that we're going to accomplish that number, but that's kind of the goal. I mean, keep in mind, the county and the county commissioners were kind enough to allow that fund to be used to take down that property, which saves the taxpayers in this borough an exceptional amount of money. So,
One question.
yes.
So will it be county taxes property taxes as well as school taxes owed against it?
Yeah, there's county, there's school, and there's borough. Yep. And we can negotiate those to try to make it sellable, but my understanding is, I believe they would like to see the taxes paid, first, the county is a grant, but I think if we could recoup any of those funds for the county, I think that would go a long way, because they've helped us on numerous occasions with this, so.
Is there any way we can get a figure together, so if somebody's
Yep.
gonna do a bid, they would know what they're gonna owe in taxes potentially?
Yep.
In the past, we had gone out to the school and asked them to forgive certain taxes. I think the Jenkins building up here was one of them. The hotel.
Yeah.
And they were more than
We used to do that.
accommodating.
And then that climate, and I don't mean this negatively, but I think it's changed just because of the overall economy. Because if you think about, you've ever seen the difference in a realty tax between an empty lot versus a lot with a house, even if that lot is a blighted property. It's a significant amount of difference in tax. And I think that's, that's part of the issue, is they would like to see that recovery. The next one, I usually don't have handouts, so you're gonna get excited. They're even color. But we've been talking about the zoning review for a little while. And this is the first one I'm handing out is flood control. We're gonna get to that. But one of the things I want to get, as I hand this to you, with the wonderful zoning map. I know I gave you the fancy one first, but you'll get over that time. If you look with me, with our fancy in color zoning ordinance zoning map, one of the first things that I'm gonna tell you is we need to get this map updated. For some reason, we use a map that shows a proposed sewer line, some of which was never ever completed or is part of any current projects. And this map is from 2001, so I'm not really sure what that's about. I'll also tell you that this map doesn't match exactly, in many ways, what our ordinance is. So I think one of the first things that we need to do is not only get an updated map, but in doing that, we should get one according to the districts that we have. If you look at this map, and I know it's hard to read because this is what I've been given, so I can't blow it up to make it better. You're gonna see that we have many businesses that are in single residential areas. And the problem with that is, whatever they want to do, even there's businesses there that have been there for quite some time. If they sell their business, or let's say they stop having that business for more than a year, or the type of business changes, they now have to go get a different type of sign permit. They have to deal with a bunch of other issues, parking issues, things that they never would have had to do if they're in a different zoning district. The other thing is, you'll look at the trail. So if you squint really hard, I can see it, squint with me, you'll see Main Street going through up to the town. You'll see on the right-hand side, which is the east, we'll call it the southeast side, it is bordered by an R3. And on the left-hand side, it is bordered by some commercial and then R3. The problem is there's more and more businesses as you go up to the trail. And the way it's currently zoned is very much prohibitive of what is going on. The next thing that I'm going to attract your attention to, and I know you're loving me for this, but down on Large Street. So if you go to see the center that's all red, and then to the southeast, there's this little, very uniquely shaped green area. You see it?
Here?
Yes, it's right. It's just right of center of this map. That's an agricultural and recreational area. Part of that is Maple Festival Park. I fully understand that. The other part of it hasn't been an agricultural area for as probably long as anybody in this room can remember. And we continuously have issues in that area with zoning that we should not have, because that's a residential, it should be considered a residential area. What I'm stressing to you tonight is
I think we need to take time in a committee to actually sit down and figure out how the zoning districts should be in this town, according to the businesses that we have, and what the borough wants to see with respect to growth. Because the only other change that I can see in doing this is with residential, changing the requirements with fencing, because we have usually about 6 to 8 times a year where people have an issue with fencing. And PMCA is now working with us that we're not taking everyone to the zoning hearing board. And we've been fortunate enough the last few times people have made agreements with their neighbors how to contend with some of this stuff. But this needs change. The other problem that you see with our zoning ordinance is it doesn't actually take into account the flood control. You see part of it takes into the flood control. You'll see the stream that is located in blue. So go with me to the happy flood control handout. See, this is all exciting. Part of the problem that we have, okay, and this goes in line with what we heard earlier, is with encroachment. But we have an issue where I don't think a lot of people understand. If you'll see the light blue on the map, those are the areas that are typically going to flood in a normal storm event. And that's how the flood control handles the water now, okay? You'll see, if you go through the maps, the second map, you're going to see this really nice yellow and green striped area. Those are the areas that used to flood in Meyersdale that no longer flood on typical flood events. And the reason is the dike is on one side of the flood control. It can't be on both sides of the flood control because, quite frankly, the size of the flood control would encompass most of what's between Keystone and Large Street. So what I'm getting at tonight is, a few months ago, we were asked by PEMA to show interest into not only, goes into what you signed tonight with hazardous mitigation, to look into what properties are continuously affected by flooding and the flood control, and the possible buyout of any of those properties that can't get flood insurance. And if you're going to notice, there are people who have homes in that green/blue area who might be able to obtain flood insurance, but will never, ever see flood insurance pay out because they are in an area that is made to flood. And one of the things that we don't have in our zoning is any reference at all to that. We have been the public entity for the flood control since like 1967 or 1968. Okay, I don't want to harp on this too much, but this is kind of a hot button thing to me, because one of these days we're going to run afoul with how this works. And we need to be much more mindful of what people are allowed to do. And I say allowed to do because they depend on zoning and the rules that are made to know whether or not what they're doing and the decisions they're making are actually in their well-being, for their good. So what I'm asking you to do tonight is to take this handout home and to start thinking about the flood control that we have. Yeah, we're making repairs. Yes, we're doing many things. But we need to get our zoning entail, and we need to get a hold of PEMA. And we need to sit down with them and to figure out what do they suggest so the borough can actually help the residents and the people that live there, the people that went through a lot of this loss and destruction, you know, to deal with it. One of the issues that we have, and then I'll be quiet on this, is if you look at the zoning map, our only industrial is located in one of the worst parts of the flooded areas, especially if you look at elevation. How many large employers do you know that are going to go there? They can't get grants from the federal and state government because they're in not only a flood zone, they're in a region that's meant to flood. It's more than a floodplain. So we need to think about it a little bit. We need to have a little bit more involvement with it and to try to take it a little bit more seriously. Any questions for me? I thought hopefully the pictures would help. Yes.
So when we look at this and look at properties in the town, if we know currently they're an R1, they're an R3, they're a commercial, whatever, should we note that on here?
Yes.
Should it reflect what's there today?
Yeah, what I would suggest is we need to start with what is there today. Because we have a whole myriad of messed up issues where we have churches that if they ever want to replace their signs, they're going to be in worse shape than what the churches that have already went through to replace signs. And these churches have been there for 100 or maybe more years. We have businesses that have been here for quite some time that are located in R1s that if they ever change hands, they're going to have a huge struggle to meet any of what those needs are. And from a bike trail standpoint, one of the things, if you look at other communities that they try to do, is they try to make areas that are more receptive to being able to have, accommodations or other services near the trail from a zoning standpoint. The zoning hearing board doesn't meet that often, but so many of the times that we do meet, there are issues that could easily have been resolved if we would revise this. And mind you, this was put on the borough back in 2001 through 5. It wasn't.
Yeah. You had indicated, to move this along a little bit here, you had indicated that maybe at our October committee meetings.
Yep.
We could discuss this like we did the budget.
And I'm hoping you can look at it between now and then.
Oh, I will.
Oh, I know you will.
So rather than belabor this tonight, I guess we will need a meeting on the first Thursday of the month, or the Thursday before the second Tuesday. And if you could put that on the list, Patty, I guess we discuss it under finance, and we can then come up with some kind of a plan rather than belaboring it tonight, because we do have other issues tonight.
Yep.
Anything
The
else?
last one I was asked about is whether or not the borough could put up, how we talked about a couple months ago about placing a mirror on a pole and all the things that the public utility will put you through to place a mirror on a pole. There are communities, and I was asked about this, that will put up like a signpost that have mirrors on. That, as long as our insurance would cover that, I would see no issue with that, because we can put that in our own right of way. It would just have to be placed, properly. So for example, what is it?
Down Columbia.
Yeah. That has been brought up numerous times. So what I would suggest on that is maybe Brian could go out and see if that's possible, and then we could talk about it the next meeting. I think that's all I have. Did I belabor it enough for you?
Perfect. Perfect length.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along here now, code enforcement. No one here. The committee reports. Terry, anything from the MMA? You're the only one here.
I wonder how the water table was. It's been so dry.
It's, the reservoir's probably down about 3 feet, but it overflowed. But we're in a lot better shape than we was last year at this time.
Brian, street foreman.
Only thing I have, street signs are all up. What are we gonna do with the new ones? I know you guys have talked about them. I still have people asking me, what do you want to do with those?
That is on our agenda a little bit later. I guess we could
Okay,
do
I
it.
didn't see that, but.
Why don't we just wait until we come to it on the
Yep,
agenda?
that's fine.
And we'll appreciate your input at that point too. Is that okay with everybody? Mama?
Brian couldn't be here tonight. He gave me his report. They've had a great summer with the revamped farmer's market. It'll go through this month. They had a little fall off in foot traffic the past couple weeks with school being back and a lot of local fairs. They are hoping it picks back up this week, and everything's going good.
Public Library. Terry's not here. I talked to her yesterday. Community events, anything there, Clarence?
Well, we had a meeting, August 28th. We got everything set up. The last band is done now. We had the Halloween, we will have everything organized for that. We're gonna have the people that donate to it is gonna be the judges this year. So, I can see where the money's going.
It's a neat idea.
So,
How about trick or treat? Did you set a time? Halloween is on the 31st, which is a
I don't have
Friday,
them papers. It went to, first of the school.
but the day is what I'm saying. Are you gonna have it the Saturday before? On the
Yes.
October 25th?
October
What is it?
25th.
Okay, that's a Saturday before. What,
Yeah.
4 to 6 in the afternoon?
The parade, 3 to 5, and trick or treat will be right after that.
So trick or treat will be later than 5 o'clock.
Yeah, right after the parade.
Might be in the dark.
And then you have the pep rally thing.
Yeah, in the pepper rally. So,
There's a different name.
The Montage October
Yeah.
2nd,
yeah,
When is that?
October 2nd.
What time?
6:45 is on up at the State Theater, and Montage at 7 o'clock.
You're just on it, Jeff.
That's so fun.
Okay. Anything else, guys?
we went over a little bit with the, light up night, but not much on that yet. This meeting here will probably go over that. So,
Thank you, Clarence. You have anything else, Jeffy? Okay. Renaissance. Council members, standing committees, police, public safety. I had just, Shane and I talked, we'd like to, during these council meetings, if not have an officer in the building, just somebody on patrol in case, as things are getting crazy in this town and everywhere. So that's on the agenda. Personnel Committee, CRB program.
That's that lady that sent the email about the disability, a person with disabilities. She never did get back to me, so I guess.
We really can't make a decision until I just take it off the agenda.
Right.
If council's okay with that for the next meeting. Finance Committee, we met and I think we've covered everything. Refuge, streets, anything there? Streets, Terry? Flood control, we discussed. Is there any other farmer's market report besides what Karen gave?
The flood control. So we were trying to get money reappropriated from the grant I got from DCED to do the clean out. Where are we on that?
I haven't heard anything about.
I have texted a representative numerous times and he says he's working on it. Right now, they're still fighting with the budget down in Harrisburg. And he says financial things like this are pretty much at a standstill. Senator Stefano. So,
I think you make a good point. I don't think they can reappropriate until they pass the budget.
yeah, that's what he said. I haven't been following it. Are they still squabbling down there? So, okay, unfinished business, the zoning ordinance, we're gonna do that at the next committee meeting. Salisbury Street's been taken care of. The police mini split. There had been some suggestion that we put that out for bid. What do you wanna do?
Oh, got a good suggestion. Why couldn't we put it down there at the pavilion? Use it down there. I mean, it's a thought.
Wonder how many BTUs is it? Maybe not.
Well, if it, before, did your office, it certainly
No,
should,
it
No, that
wasn't.
was
It
for the
was
police
It was in
station.
the fleet.
it certainly should be big enough, to handle that. Why don't we hold on that and until we see how these current new mini splits are gonna work and things like that. We may find out that somebody said put it in the ladies' restroom or something here to utilize it. You said that.
I don't think I said that. If I did, I don't remember it.
I don't think we need to make sure we don't put anything on the front of the building.
The only thing I would bring up is, I believe, I'm not sure, was it Karen, somebody figured out, maybe it was Pat,
Well, you
that
have to have them all set to cool.
Yeah.
Or all set to heat, or they don't work.
I would suggest the borough, if you've ever had those systems, really think about, ask Gar and get a different outside unit
if that's what's needed, so that they can be actually zoned. Because that's so much nicer than everybody being on the same page, because just think of the scenario of, you know, the police are out working all night or doing whatever, Patty comes in, they're down there or have their system on, and they're hot. And she's like, you know, it's 50 degrees in here for whatever reason, and you can't get heat because they have cold. I know that sounds like just say.
I did talk to Dennis today about that. Dennis Hay works at Bar. He's gonna check into it and see what he needs to do in order to zone those.
Okay.
And he's gonna let me know.
That just seems.
There has to be a way.
Yeah, he said he's gonna check. It was not in the orders when he got it as to have it zoned. It was just an order to buy the unit, and that's what they put in. So he's
Well,
gonna.
you'd think they would have asked somebody before they just did it.
Yeah, so he's gonna check, see what it's gonna take to have it zoned.
Okay, War Memorial Doughboy. What's that on there for?
You had asked about that, Karen. You wanted on last month's agenda.
Well, I think, Brian, they've been taking good care of it. I think it, along with our park here in town, you've done a good job with your assistance this summer. So I think we should be proud of the accomplishments. I think the town, for the most part, looks pretty good. Grants, anything there, Karen? Not really? Then we'll go, any announcements? Let's fly through these here. We accomplished, I covered some of them already. The police pension resolution eliminating pension contributions for 2026. Patty, that's your baby.
Yeah, that has to be done every year because we don't have any full-time pension or police officers paying into plan, so you have to eliminate the contribution.
So we just make a motion to do that?
Pass the resolution.
Okay, Clarence, you want to?
Yes.
Thank you. And another, seconds. Terry seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Very good. Replacement for Fester, whatever it is, Pension Consulting Incorporating, effective December 31st, 2025. We discussed this briefly at the Finance Committee meeting.
Yeah, there were a few names that were thrown out there, and I talked to Steve today, and he is confident that the current actuary service, his name is Joe Duda, that he would be able to help us with that. He already does the actuary for the plan. Steve mentioned that this Doug Worley, he works for PSAB. They only have certain plans that they offer, and more than likely, they would want you to move that money from Somerset Trust into someplace in Harrisburg possibly. But Steve thought that Joe would be able to help us out and do a good job. So if whatever you want to do.
You mean to be able to do it all, take the place of?
Of Steve. And Steve would like work with him and tell him what all he does that. And Mr. Duda does the actuary, so he knows all the financial ins and outs of the plan.
Question, topic, discussion? Well, could we maybe make a motion that we give Patty the authority to move forward with gleaning more information about this and be sure that this is going to be a good fit? And if she comes back with a favorable report in October, then we could ink the deal.
You don't need a motion for that, for her to inquire.
You say we don't?
Yes, yep.
So is there any objection to allowing Patty to get more information? Mr. Mayor? Okay.
That was enthusiastic.
Window treatments and
You
2026 MMO.
the MMO, that's the minimum municipal obligation for the pension plans. You have to make a motion to pass that. I think I gave that to everybody, a copy of.
Yes. Tom?
Yeah.
Is that a motion?
Sure, I'll make.
And a second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Do you need to abstain from this because, does he need to abstain from this maybe?
You better second it then.
So we have Tom.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Terry. All those in favor of doing that, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And you also abstain from this? Okay, that's from the vote. You have to fill in this form. Window treatment and shelving, I think Ron had done some research, maybe Tom has, but let's, you had mentioned something, Karen, so we can maybe discuss that at this point. I think we all feel we need to get some kind of blinds or some kind of treatments here with these beautiful windows, especially in the ladies' restroom.
I will point out one thing, they did tint the ladies' restroom. You can't see in and you can't see
They put it
out.
there.
It leaves light in, but you can't.
Oh, okay.
As far as these windows, I had friends blind and design come in and just check. They recommend instead of one great big blind, because if you want light, you're gonna pull that up. So you're gonna put like a blind on each one of these windows that, there's 14 blinds that. They're solar screen, they're charcoal, and it'll keep, he said, the air out, heat in the winter, the air out, and the total price was $5,350
For all of them.
for all of them. That's his labor and everything.
Any other comments or reports on the window treatments?
What color are they thinking about?
What?
Color.
They were,
He said charcoal.
charcoal.
I
Okay, so
guess
they
it
want
was multitude of colors.
Okay, that's like a bronze. Are we gonna get a couple of quotes?
Never hurts, but
Yeah.
window treatments aren't really mine. Tom, you're great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should get a couple of them.
I mean, I think he's a great guy and does a lot of this.
My ex-brother.
See, the only problem with this getting quotes, now Ron went out and got quotes. Now, everybody else knows what his quote is. And, I mean, he's a local fellow, right? I kind of disagree. I think we should just give Ron permission to go ahead and move forward. We ran into this in the past. It's unfair. We go get quotes and then we want an approximate price. So now everybody watching this is gonna know. So I have a company, I'm gonna make my quote $100 less. So I'm in favor of just letting Ron move forward with it and put them up, but that's just me. If there's a motion to get more quotes, let's have that. If there's a motion to approve what Ron said, let's have that. But somebody say something.
Let's hurry it up, the motion table.
Hmm?
You have a motion table, that'd be fine. Move on the edge.
You could make a motion. Go with Ron if you feel, and see where it goes.
I think what he gave us is really a good price. He showed us the blinds. They are great. So I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and let him do it.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Clarence, for the second. I guess we'll do a roll call vote on this one, Patty, since that way everybody says where they stand.
Mr. Ackerman,
Yes.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Nagy,
Yes.
Mr. Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
I'm gonna abstain because he's my ex-brother-in-law and I really don't care for the man.
All righty. Okay, so go ahead and order the blinds. I think we did the right thing. High grass
The shelving,
and the shelving. Okay, sorry.
in that new records room, if be nice if we had some shelving there so I could put things, files clear to the ceiling. And, it would take like 4 of them, $1,148.99 through Amazon.
Is that metal ship?
They said it would hold like 7,000 pounds or something. Similar to what's up in the upstairs record room.
How much was it,
$1,148.
Is there a motion to allow Patty to move forward with some shelving, which she requests for the extra room for $1,000 from Amazon?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Clarence, and a second. Terry seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Consider that unanimous also, Patty. Go ahead and order it. High grass. Did anybody come up with any properties? Do we have any kind of a list? Shane, you said you'd rather the police not get involved with it.
I wouldn't, but.
So then the choices are either call the people. We have no lists. I know that the property of Salisbury Street, 32 Salisbury Street, I think the gas has been shut off on that. I went up on the porch and there's all these packets of information. The gas is shut off, $5,000 arrears. So I don't know. This is a guy that lives away from here and has those fancy cars stored in the back. I guess he's not even in the place. In the past, we would call, Patty would, or write him a letter and he would get somebody to weed whack it.
We should follow the past practice then. And call them if we have numbers, and if not, send them, go ahead and send them a letter, but for the people that we call, if they don't respond or otherwise comply, then send them the letters. Just keep it simple, because most of the people will probably then comply. And then hopefully it'll be a very reduced list that we have to entertain.
I mean, unless we get, the only complaint I would do myself would be 32 Salisbury Street, because we walk by there every morning, Eric and I, and the dogs. But if there's other places, write it down. This is for the people watching. If you have a complaint, give us the property address and we'll try to get this taken care of. But you have nobody except for 32 Salisbury Street.
The house below the Catholic church, the fence, my God, the weeds are 6 feet high. And so maybe we could check that. Cannon's house, Cannon property and next to down, that needs
attention, yes.
attention.
Okay, I think we have a plan then to try to keep moving here. Stormwater grants.
I would encourage us to look into that, but no one's supported that idea.
DCED grant update. ATV update, I think
I have a question. So there was a person in the legislature that actually was on the committee that got us the DCED grant. I know that, talked to him. And I have a contact, Jonna at DCED. I mean, there's other routes besides going through, and no disrespect to Pat, he's great. But if we haven't gotten any movement, I mean, there's other ways. So if you decide, Jeff, that you want to try something different, let me know.
You mean as far as changing the scope of it?
Yes. I mean, I have contact Jonna right at DCED.
I think anybody who could move this along, I'd like to see it moved, changed as soon as possible so we could get this thing started early in the spring, put it out for bids. The only thing I'll say this about Pat Stefano. Years ago, when Marty and I were back on, just very shortly, he came to Meyersdale and we walked around the town. And we went down to the flood control and he asked us what is our top priorities for this community were. And we showed him the break in the flood control and we went up and showed him the upper end that was filled with sediment and things like that. And I mean, within 2 weeks, we were notified that was approved. So,
It was actually like a week.
huh?
It was a week.
I mean, he was here and bang, so I think Senator Stefano does have a lot of clout down there. And I've been dealing with him via text, so I can send him another text message tomorrow. But I think we have a very good senator that represents Meyersdale very well. And so, but I'll text him again tomorrow and see what he has to say. Anything else on that grant, Karen? ATV update, I think we did that unless there's something else somebody wanted to say. The Pennsylvania Maple Festival Street Road closures, we all received a list of that they're requesting. I think everything is pretty much the same. They're also requesting Maple Lane or whatever it is there by that alley. They like to close that except to local traffic. That seems to work out well as far as preventing congestion there. So, I mean, it seems to me like it's the same thing as in the past. I've read through it. They want to close here in front of the bank for a tractor show, the parade, car shows, Main Street here for the vendors. So I would, thank you, Tom. In a second.
Second.
Thank you, Karen. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? That's unanimous. Move forward with the family restroom and community center ADA grants, gym doors, the water fountains, and I guess, of course, the family restroom. So let's take it one at a time here. The water fountain, I had received a quote from the plumbing here in Meyersdale. And Tom, you say you want to research a little bit more before we make a decision on the water fountain. So with council's permission, we could maybe keep that item, the water fountain, on the agenda for October. Now, the other two items, the gym door and the family restroom, I'm going by memory here. Patty had the email, which we received from Larry Phillip, our engineer. He would charge us $2,000 to come up with drawings, which would be clear enough or appropriate enough that we could bid this job out. $2,000 to come up with the drawings as far as where the electric goes, where the water goes, the toilet and everything, having the access in the hallway here, encroaching upon the shed, your closet, and then part of the ladies' restroom. And then I think it was $600 to do drawings to be sure that we get the doors right for handicap accessibility into the gym. So we discussed that. And then if you read down further, I think it's $8,200.
Yeah.
He said that they would be then responsible for helping us put the RFP together, the request for proposal, do the bidding, and move forward with everything. Inspect as the workers move forward on the restroom is the main one. Our solicitor and I talked briefly before the meeting, and he said he and the council was always able to do these RFPs ourselves.
When we have drawings, yeah.
When we have the drawings, without necessarily using the engineering firm. So that's what we have to decide tonight. As far as how much is it gonna cost, I don't know. I don't think that the engineers are gonna be in a position to give us an estimated cost. I think we just have to, what is in the budget, 50,000? For handicap accessibility?
I think the total was like 98.
So I think we've budgeted for more than enough to do the family restroom the water fountains, and then the gym doors, those, and maybe put a handle on this ramp out here. So that's what we have. Larry was kind enough to rush this proposal through for us with the amounts. So I guess we can discuss it here tonight. Do you want to move forward with getting the drawings done? Do we want to think about it? And we did just receive this information today. Would you rather digest it, discuss it at the October committee meetings, or do we want to move forward? What does council want to do?
Did you ask him if he could ballpark what it's gonna cost?
I did, Karen, and they prefer not to do that.
Well, I think we're gonna need the drawings no matter what. And I don't know how they can come up with the costs until we tell them what kind of materials we wanna use. So I'd be in favor of getting the drawings done anyhow.
That would be for the restroom and the doors.
I believe so.
Well, let's everybody give their 2 cents here. Tom said what he felt. Clarence, what do you think we should do, buddy?
We can't get no further without the drawings, so.
Ron,
I agree with Tom.
I'll pass. Karen,
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes.
Shane,
Oh, I agree also. We need the drawings one way or the other.
now, Mr. Solicitor, would you say then if we would make a motion to have them move forward with the drawings, we would hold on the engineering firm doing creating the RFP and things like that?
Yeah, if you
We've
want.
always done it in the past when we tore the
As
buildings
long as
down
we
and
have,
stuff.
as long as we have the drawing and we have, specs that go with the drawings, we're not bad. But if we come up with the specs, we actually have to come up with the specs and not do some loose proposal that they can just throw a bathroom together.
Correct, and that's what the purpose of this is. That's, okay, well, it sounds like, could we have a motion to do that, please?
Make that motion.
Okay, Ron, and a second. Tom, thanks, buddy. All those in favor say aye of moving forward with this? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, we're getting down the end of the lane here. What to do with the old street signs? We discussed this significantly. This is just a starting point. I think they should be $5 a piece. If somebody comes up to Brian and he's out working, they said, yes, keep a notebook. I would like this sign. You sell it to them for $5. We're not giving it away. We could put a note up if you wanted. They could have an open house at some point down in the shed. If somebody requests a sign, like for Salisbury Street, there's at least 10 or 12 of those. Beakley Street, I don't think we're gonna have a huge, people getting in fistfights or getting upset over a $5 sign. But these are the guys that are out there and are getting asked, and I just think that if you, this is just my opinion now, if you sell one, like Mayor Smith, $5 Salisbury Street sign, and then you bring the money in when you give it to Patty, and then we have a list. I mean, we're doing this as a gesture to help our community. I do it for free, but we can't because of.
I just struggle, maybe it's my profession, but I just struggle seeing all that working seamlessly and everybody being happy and pleased. It was my 2 cents. I kind of like the idea of what was suggested of using it as like a little fundraiser for the events committee or whatever that's the community events, and having it a little bit more, I'll say organized, because it kind of takes the onus off of Brian, who then has to play like referee and treasurer and everything else while doing his other duties. I mean, I'm not saying he can't do it, I'm not wrong, but.
Would you be upset in doing that? Did you have much contention, like, you think there would be, like, 10 people don't want the same signs?
No, I've had a few people ask me. Now, one thing, the signs are a T, say Salisbury and Third. Is it $5 for top, 5 for bottom, or is it 5 for the whole unit? What's that?
Suspense begins.
You can take them apart, right?
No, they're, Yeah, we can, but they're really rusty and so.
They're paying.
Yeah.
And you can't
You're gonna end up breaking this, what's gonna happen.
spend $20 taking apart of it.
Just leave them together and.
Leave them together and it's $5 for
The whole unit.
the unit, or 10, just, and the money can go to Clarence and Jenny's committee, that's no problem there. I'm just saying, to make it simple.
It's almost water wheels.
What's that?
Throw on the side, they can be a water wheel.
Do you want to move forward with this, or just let it go another month? What does council want to do? I won't be upset either way.
So you said all the signs are down now, Sherman Street and everything? Okay.
They're all down, they're down in the bottom, they're actually inside, we put them inside the fence, so nobody can just go take them, they're locked in the fence.
They're all down, why keep them laying around? Go ahead and let him sell
But if I may, maybe announce a date that they're gonna be available for an hour to sell signs, and people need to come during that period to get them, so you're not constantly bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
Just say, on this date, signs will be available for $5, and come get them during this hour. Have them there.
We don't just sit around waiting.
That's why I say set a short period of time.
They get rid of them quicker too.
Or just to, you could just have, if you're interested, contact the borough office, and then Patty, you could write down, get the name, let Brian get it, get the money, and that's it. I mean, there's a number of ways you could do it. If you set an hour time, that might not suit everybody. You could.
Maybe Patty can put it on the website. If they're available, contact you. Then you can contact them, and you can tell us.
Our people get with your people.
Yeah.
You could do a sign channel, Patty.
And it's $5, and you won't separate them, $5 for 10th and Salisbury Street. Is $5 enough? Is that? Is everybody?
Signs for one price.
Could we have a motion then to somehow move forward on this?
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we sell our street signs for $5 a piece.
And a second.
$10 per unit.
Well, it's $5 a piece, and you get 2 that be 10.
Yeah.
If you got 3.
second.
Okay, okay, everybody agrees. Ron seconded, Clarence thirded it. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. So put that on the website. If you're watching, call Patty if you want to get some of these signs for $5 or $10. We're about done here, folks. The mini split, we discussed that already. We're gonna look forward. We're gonna check with DAR to see if they can revamp that. Goals for the current year, flood control riprap. That's on our agenda. Is there anything else? We'll go around the table. Everybody last words. It is 8:31. We're not doing too bad. Clarence, last words.
Nothing.
Patty, good evening. Calling his names. Come on.
I just have the sign out the front here, if there's any nonprofits that want to put up their announcements there, or maybe, back in the day, we used to rent it out and put Happy Birthday Joe Blow on there, or Mary Sue. And we can put that out there that it's available. As long as it's nice stuff that they put up there. That's all I have.
Ron?
No, I'm not.
I have nothing, Mr. Solicitor.
No, you already made me stop.
Karen? Terry? Mr. Mayor? Brian? Okay, folks, it is 8:32 PM. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Make that motion.
Thank you, Ron and Terry. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you, everybody. Good night.
I'm gonna give you this. I'll call him tomorrow.